Hello, everyone, and welcome to Groovy Duke, your channel for all things groovy-lang. If you find any of these videos useful, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share so that more people can have a groovy day. So today we're going to be going into multi-line strings. So let's go over to the Groovy console, and I'll get my video out of the way and pull up a Java example here. Um, so copy this. Now this is just the way that you would do it in Java. Obviously, like I've said in previous videos, since this is the Groovy console, this will be running this as if it was Groovy. But I'm gonna run this here, and this is how you would have to deal with multi-line strings within Java. Like one of these two ways. Obviously, this is the way that you shouldn't be using because it's not as performant. So if you're doing concatenation in a loop, not the greatest thing in the world. But you can do like plus equals if it's like a small string. So I have this line, this line, this line. I have to do the slash n, you know, pretty verbose. Or the way you should be doing it is using a string builder and then appending each, and then I'm doing a system.print line, and you can see it prints both of those strings. So that is the Java way of doing it. Although not for long, or I'm not sure if it's this feature is in Java yet, but I know that triple quoted strings are coming to Java. So eventually, you will have this, but Groovy's kind of had this for years. So in Groovy, you can just do three quotes and have your string, and three quotes gets rid of all that ceremony, and then right now I have a print line and I'm removing the uh, all of the end lines, so it prints it into one line. It does do a little bit of a word wrap here, um, but if I wanted to, I could just get rid of all that and just run this, and what you'll see is it'll print the multi-line text right there. So Groovy handles strings a little bit differently. So if we take just like a regular string here, and okay, let's see. So one of the things I'm doing is printing like the. So if I take just a single quote string and I do class and print that, you get a Java-lang string. If I take a double quote and do the class, you get a Java-lang string. If I, however, do a double quoted string and do interpolation with this dollar sign, which it can be a dollar sign, or you can also use curly brackets around it. It for the most part it doesn't matter as long as what comes after this variable is not a dot. If it has a dot, it'll get confused. So if I wanted to put a period here, you better use the curly brackets. It, some people will say, all right, because that's the case, always use it. But, it can be a little bit nicer to read without the curly brackets as long as you don't have a period right after it like this. So if I run this again, scroll to my output, you'll see that this third one right here is a what's called a G string, G string impl. They, the makers of Groovy thought they were funny, so instead of calling it a Groovy string, it is a G string. Um, just is what it is. Now, another thing that you can do is you can do triple quoted strings with single quotes. And these will come through as just regular strings. Now you'll see I have a dollar here, but this is not doing the interpolation. You only get the interpolation when you use double quotes. So if I had a string like this, up here, and I had like some, string interpolation, some variable here, this would become a G string. Now you can always do a toString because sometimes like you'll have APIs, and if you're doing static compilation, the compiler will get mad at you if you try to pass a groovy string to something that accepts strings. So you might have to do that, depending on what you're doing. If you're using static compilation, if you're not using static compilation, then if you pass a groovy string to a string, it will just automatically convert it to you, and you won't notice that anything actually happened. So and there are various places where if you took a string and you assign a groovy string to it, it'll implicitly call toString on it. So there are places where that'll happen, but there are times like if you like I said, if you're using static compilation, you'll have to do toString. Anyways, so let's see. So I have this string interpolation, so that's a G string as well. Some other interesting things that you can do with strings is you can almost just treat them as if they were arrays, and you can use the uh, this syntax, the bracket syntax, to access it. Now, another thing you can do, which is specific to Groovy, is you can give it ranges. So I can take a string and say, give me the 0th character to the second, because we are 0 base, and you'll see, all right, that gets test. So 0, 1, 2, and you don't get the last one, which would be 3. You can also give it negative numbers, and here I have -1, and I'm going to -1 times the length, and that actually reverses the string. Little weird way to do that, because I think there is a Groovy extension method that does reverse, so you can just do dot reverse. But you can do some interesting things. Probably not. This is one of the things where it's just an example of something you can do. Using the negative integers to go from the back. Not something I would do for this, because there are easier ways to read that. Um, and just showing you that yes, you can print out multi-line string, and one with double quotes and triple quotes, and it maintains all of the indentation and stuff here too. So if I added like something like that, obviously you get that indentation, or if I added like a tab or something. So that's pretty much all I have for you today with multi-line strings. So have a groovy one.